special announcement. For those of you that watch the Investing 2.0 video and that's ready to start in this investment group, good news. We've started. All right. People already been sending in their funds. And for you serious ones, for all the people that hit me up and said, listen, I want to be a part of the investment group, now is your time. Now it's time for you to put your money where your mouth is. All right. No more talk. It's time to take action. So I hope you ain't spend all your tax money. All right. Remember, we was looking for $100. It's that time. All right. So if you want to get down with this, hit me up in the comments or share this video with your people or whatever. Hit me in the inbox and I will show you how to get started. All right. Now, back to the show. So what are the top 3 things that we should do that we don't do currently?
Okay. The first thing is get educated, read. If you don't know how to, like you said, how to for dummies, go on Google, you can Google anything. How to invest. You can put in, where do I start with investing? It'll be a ton of articles that'll pop up for you. And you need to start reading and start educating yourself. You need to start reading books on financial literacy, on wealth building. There's books out here. Listen to, if you're not a reader, then go on YouTube. People are doing webinars. Like I have webinars. Other people have webinars out there. And you go on YouTube and start educating yourself because that's the first piece of it. Because if you don't know what to do with it, Second thing is get an advisor. A lot of people feel like, oh, I can't afford a financial advisor or an accountant. Also know the difference. Your accountant usually handles your money. What the accountant does is they can help you with your budgets and other things to show you where you can get the money from to start investing. And then usually the financial advisor or investor will help you take that and invest it in such a way to help you meet your financial goals like we talked about before. Yeah. So speak to a financial advisor. Some of them, if you check, you don't have to pay them a fee. Mm-hmm. They actually get paid from the vehicles that they put, the financial vehicles they put you in. Right. But kind of be aware of that because like some banks get paid, like I said, or some advisors get paid to put you in certain things, mm-hmm. and it may not necessarily be what you're trying to do. They just got to meet a quota that if I sell these many things this month. Mm-hmm, so you have to pay attention to that as well, but you got to know.
Okay. And the third thing,
kind of what that is. The third thing I'll also say is the file your taxes. File your taxes and pay your taxes. Right. A lot of times we don't file our taxes because we think we're going to owe and then come to find out we don't owe. And the other thing too is file your taxes correctly, because while you feel like you're getting the hookup or while you feel like you're doing whatever, a lot of these accountants are starting to get caught, mm-hmm. who are putting, your 3 kids on there that you don't really have, you writing off expenses for a business that you really don't have. It's a flag after about 3 or 4 years, depending on the type of business. Right. If you got all these expenses, right. but you haven't made a dime, you haven't made 1 dime from this yet, but you got 20 grand worth of expenses, like, come on. Right. So you have to be smart. And if you're a business owner, also know that, like, if you're self-employed, not claiming income because you don't want to pay taxes may seem cool at the time, but when you go try to buy a house, when you go try to get credit, when you try to do anything concerning your business, not having had any income from your business will stifle that process.
Great. All right, so can we talk about building business credit? So if I have a business and I want to build credit for my business, how do I go about that? Or what are some of the things that I can do to build business credit?
First things you need to do is, I would say, get a Dun & Bradstreet number. They will start to accumulate information about your business. I would do simple things like if you can get your phone bill, if you have multiple people who work in your company, or if you use your phone quite a bit for business, I would get the phone, start there. They may initially start it with your social security number, but it will be in your business name. And then as you paid it on time every single month, then they will, start to establish that, and then you can add your tax ID number onto it. So make sure that you have a tax ID number. And then also, one of the things that I see quite a bit is that people get the credit card processor. And when they initially get it, because they started their business before they decided to incorporate, it's in their personal and they never switch it over. And so then the problem that they have is that they get that credit card statement to show what income they made. It comes in their personal, not their business. But if their business is incorporated, so technically the business has all these expenses, but all the income's on the other side. So just be diligent about making sure that you switch that over so that you can have your expenses align up with your income and be able to deduct them on the same thing.
So with the Dun & Bradstreet number, that helps you to get like certain big box stores, stuff like that, to get.
Yeah, well, no, so
you report to Dun & Bradstreet.
Yeah, the creditors will report.
To Dun &
So
Bradstreet.
even like, and the other thing, if you get certain business services like even Staples or some other type
Home
of
Depot.
business, Home Depot, see if you can get that on credit or have certain companies bill you, even if you're going to pay them back in 15. Even, for example, if you have a T-shirt company of people that you do your graphics, ask the graphics company send you a bill your company, and then even if you're going to pay it right away, but because they billed you, that will show under your Dun & Bradstreet that you're being billed, and it'll show that you're getting credit. So as much as you can. That doesn't mean that because they sent you the bill, don't send the money in, because make sure you're taking care of that, because then just like you're trying to build credit, not paying bills on time will definitely affect your credit.
Let's talk about entrepreneurship, right? I remember you telling me that if you're going to raise an entrepreneur, then you have to be a good entrepreneur yourself.
Yeah.
But is that exactly true these days, being not saying that, quoting you, that you didn't say it like that, but because I think this generation now skips over how we used to do things.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you go to Facebook, people are riding hoverboards and they don't have to dress up for work. It's a totally different way they do things now. And sometimes it skips because, like you said, parents always tell us, go to school, get a good job. And then the college bills is $1 million, and that puts us in debt automatically because our job doesn't cover the debt.
Right.
But talk to me about being a good entrepreneur or being an entrepreneur in that sense.
Well, even if you're not an entrepreneur, I guess you could still raise your child to be an entrepreneur just by teaching them to pursue other endeavors or have something in mind. I still am a proponent of going to school and getting an education. There's a lot of people that say, oh, don't do education. Our education system is broken because they want to teach everybody the same way. I homeschool, so but I sent him to traditional school up to a certain point. But then I started homeschooling, and he'll probably go back to a traditional school for high school. But I knew that there were certain things that I agree that he wasn't getting that I wanted him to have. But what I was talking about if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to teach your child entrepreneurship, you have to be a good entrepreneur as well, because it's the same thing. We can't teach our children money lessons. We can't teach our children things that we aren't willing to learn ourselves. And like, for example, we have this bakery in our neighborhood, or not in our neighborhood, but in Chicago. And they provide things to certain events. And my son has been at events where they've been there and said, oh, well, we drove past their bakery and I didn't even notice it. We actually parked there. We didn't even realize it. He looked and was like, this is XYZ Bakery? Because they had boxes in the windows. The windows were dirty. They had no, you know what I mean? It was like, I ate out of there. Like, that's how he, what his thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I mentioned that to a friend of ours, and he knows the people at the bakery and told them. Because, when you go by a bakery, I want to see wedding cakes with the tears, or I want to see delicious, things in the window. I mean, their windows were filthy. They had, like, just cardboard boxes, just boxed up in front of the thing. And there was nothing about it that looked appealing. Right. So my thing is that, and what do you think that does to the patrons walking by? Yeah. Nobody is just going to, oh, that looks good. I'm gonna go in there. Even if you have the smells wafting out of the door, I'm not going in there because
Right.
when I saw that, I was like, okay, well,
We gonna
next, but it's because then that makes you think if this is what the front looks like, what does the kitchen look like?
Hey.
But I'm just saying that we have to start to just make sure that what we're producing is, is
Of
above
quality.
board, of
Right.
quality. Yeah, quality before quantity.
Right.
And we kind of get away. We slide. Well, people still buying it. That
Right.
that shouldn't be the
Right,
mentality when you're trying to, when you're trying to teach.
Good. Talk to me about incorporating. What state should I incorporate in? Because a lot of times people say incorporate in Delaware, opposed to whatever. Talk to me about incorporating.
Because a lot of times they don't know the laws. So the reason why people were used to incorporate in Delaware is because Delaware had good litigation. They knew corporate law very well. So this is for people like Pepsi, ABC, people who are, who may have, like in the case of Pepsi, if they may have a lawsuit, or different people that, that produce products and things like that, that they may find themselves in litigation and need to be in a place where that actually matters. To a company, to XYZ shea butter company, it doesn't matter because, hopefully you won't be going through any major litigation and need to have that happen. The other thing is that from then to now, the rules have changed so much in terms of if you are not in your home state, some states require that then that you still incorporate there if you're going to conduct business there. Right. So you now are paying two bills. So you paid for Delaware to look fancy to say I have a Delaware, and then you paid to be in your home state because in order for you even to operate business properly, you have to be there. So now you have your two different annual report fees that you have to pay each year, and you really don't end up using it for the purpose that it's intended anyway. And then people also say, like with the tax thing, oh, I can get around because Nevada doesn't have any tax, so I won't have to pay any tax there because I'm incorporated there. But then they'll find that sometimes that comes back to bite them because, like I said, depending on what kind of bank loans and whatever things you're doing, the banks may say, oh, you're incorporated in this, you're incorporated here, but you do business here, and so may still require you to do that.
I love it. She's so by the book. I love it. Guess who's going to be running this investment group? Just saying.
Who could that be?
That's why
I love how you get ideas,
right.
But I end up being the person
that
runs.
Boss. Look, I'm a king. That's how you do it. You got to find somebody smarter than you. I'm just saying.
Hey, that's another key to investing too, though. Find somebody smarter than you. Because as I said, LeBron James, when he meets Warren Buffett, he's getting them questions answered.
That's right.
They're having some real conversation.
That's what I'm talking about. Because that's how we're going to do this investment group and get it going. All right, but thank you for being on the show. I want to tell everybody how we can reach you.
I have a new organization that I started called Wealthy Women Worldwide because one of the things they say is that women are terrible investors. In terms of the vehicles that we choose to invest, or like I said, in terms of some of the decisions about what we make about who handles our wealth once we pass on, those types of things in certain polls and things, they say that women are emotional investors, or that we kind of let the personal guide us, whereas men are more methodical and business, and they, like I said, they have a plan. And so that's kind of what this organization does, is to kind of give women a, and allow us to be a woman in our thinking about how we invest and how we do things, and provide information for us to do.
And another thing, ladies, a lot of you have a lot of different opportunities. There's a lot of minority grants out there for women that y'all don't take advantage of. And y'all really need to take advantage of that, because I tell my wife that all the time. I tell a bunch of other ladies that too, because they don't know. They want to start a bunch of businesses, stuff like that, but there's grants out there for you to start.
Absolutely.
Actually, not too far from where we are right now downtown, there's a foundation center for grants. And when I tell you that there's barely any black people in there.
Yeah, that's the truth. The problem is not that it's there, they don't go. The other thing is, and that's even with scholarships for school.
I don't think they know, though. that is
well,
there.
they may not go, but they may not know. But also, like scholarships for school, for example. We don't want to sit and write the 9,000 essays. We don't want to send out all the information. And I think that's the thing that we don't, we want to start businesses, but we don't want to, like you said, or we may not know that the grants are there, but we got to do our work.
Right.
And the thing, talk to other people.
Yeah, right.
And talk to people that don't look like you.
This is true. Because they do things differently.
Don't ask your cousin Quita, because Quita don't know. You need to go and find people and go to a bank. Go to Chamber of Commerce. Utilize the Chamber of Commerce. And if you don't like the Chamber of Commerce in your neighborhood, go to the Chamber of Commerce in the other neighborhood. You're not selling out if you're trying to build a better life and legacy for your family.
Right.
If you are giving back and doing other things for you to do better, is not selling out.
That's right.
It's just providing more opportunity.
Right, because you got to talk to other people, because not just like one of the things, like how when a baby is born, like in a Caucasian family or whatever, they put a business in the baby's name to start building credit. So there's a lot of different things that people do, so that way when that kid turns 12 or 13, 14, they already been in business for 14 years. And
or even credit cards. Like, they'll get credit cards. But see, when we put something in somebody's name,
it's the phone bill.
It's the phone bill, the rent, not the rent, but the light bill, and then that kid's credit is jacked up before they ever get out the gate.
Right.
If you know that you have great credit and you want to put your child's credit on a credit card, put your child on the credit card to build, so that by the time your child is 18, they have a credit score of 750, 800, and they can go and walk out the door and get a building, so that when they start school, they can start a hustle.
One more time, tell them where where they can find you. Tell them the name of your webinar.
So, wealthywomenworldwide.org. We have webinars every Wednesday, because we have Wealthy Women Wednesdays. And the webinar is at 7:30 Central, so that's what, 8:30?
6:30.
No,
No,
8:30.
you're out before.
Yeah,
right, so 8:30 Eastern.
Jessica Smiti Smith, it's Smiti, on Facebook. I'm on all of the social media. You can do Wealthy Women Worldwide, or you can do Jessica Smith Co. at Jessica Smith Co. on Twitter and follow me. And then I also have a company that teaches financial literacy to kids, which I've had now for 5 years, and that's lifeuniversity.com. And it's university with a C for city. It's like university, because we are educating, we're a community.
You just checked out Jessica Smith, accountant, CPA, EA, sports. Anyway, here on the Fran Lover Show. You can also follow me on all social media platforms. You can catch me on my website, franlover.com. And we'll see you next time. All right? Yeah.